Well, hello, brothers and sisters. Hello to the community of Free Union, Vienna United Methodist Church, and all those who may come upon this video on this day. On this day, June 29th, 2020, we are in the midst of the penultimate, which is the second to last day of Pride Month, a month in which we honor and we seek to restore. We restore the dignity, the worth, the value of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters. Pride, is a funny thing. As people of faith, we are taught to guard against pride. But when we speak of Pride Month, or if we think about Black Pride, we affirm that some people, some groups of people in our midst have been denied, deprived a certain sense and a feeling of worth, of value, of equity, of equality. And so therefore, we institute this word of pride as a means to be about the restoration of that value and that worth and of that dignity that has been often lost and deprived. And so I come today primarily as a pastor who has many roles, but I come to you primarily as a pastor to say that on this day I affirm the value, the worth, the sacredness of those brothers and sisters of ours who consider themselves within that LGBTQ identity. I affirm you. I affirm you as a child of God, first and foremost. One of my other roles as pastor is that of theologian. And that's someone that studies God, which is quite a tall order. And in some ways, all people of faith, no matter their title, they all are theologians of one kind or another. We all study God. There's only a couple things that I'm certain of with regards to God. One of them is that God is a mystery. So I affirm that I am studying that which I can't fully know, this eternal and unending mystery of God. And the other thing that I know and affirm is that God is love. And so I come to you as one who studies love in all its forms. And as a theologian, it's tempting to make a theological argument, because I know this is an issue that has been controversial and is not agreed upon by all. Not all in our world, not all within our United Methodist Church, and not all certainly at Free Union, Vienna United Methodist Church. But yet, while that temptation to try to convince those who may see differently than I is there, that is not my primary role today on this second to last day of Pride Month, but rather it is simply to say to my brothers and sisters, my gay brothers and sisters, that you are of great value, you are of worth, you are sacred in the eyes of God. And that you, as long as I am a minister and a pastor, that in that place that I minister and pastor, that you are welcomed by me, you are accepted, and more than that, perhaps more important than that, you are invited to fully participate in the life of the church. That includes marriage, and that includes, should you be called towards it, a life of ministry, of ordination, a life in which you would be a clergy and perform the role of pastor or minister within the United Methodist Church. That is my commitment, to work towards that for you, that equity and that equality, that it would live and exist within the church. And so that is my message above all today. But I want to share with you as well an excerpt. It's from a book by a fellow named Gene Robinson. He's the bishop of New Hampshire. And he writes this in a chapter that he calls God Believes in Love. He says, "My mom sits in her wheelchair or rocker, unable to walk or even lift her foot up onto the wheelchair's footrest by herself. She eats with an apron-sized bib around her neck, usually specially angled silverware that gives her a better chance of actually getting food to her mouth. Increasingly, my dad feeds her. Indeed, my dad does virtually everything for her now. He gets her up in the middle of the night, several times a night, for the arduous process of getting her out of bed, into the bathroom, and back again. He's hardly gone back to sleep when she needs to go again. They're both 86 years old. They get cranky with each other. My mother now speaks only in a whisper. My father needs hearing aids, but he refuses to try them. She is irritated that he can't hear her, and he wishes she would just speak up. Sometimes he is impatient. Sometimes she is just so very tired. Still, there they are, 24/7, continuing their life together. Mom needs to be in the nursing home. She was there for a while, but my father missed her and was worried about whether she was getting good care, meaning round-the-clock, one-on-one attention. He said to me, "I just can't stand the thought of your mother sitting in a dirty diaper for who knows how long, waiting for someone to come to change her. It's my job to take care of her. And that's what I'm going to do until I can't do it anymore." And so he is. Robinson goes on to write, "I don't know if anyone can adequately define the mystery of marriage, but I know it when I see it. My parents' marriage stands as a tribute to the idea of marriage, its faithful commitment, and its until death do us part tenacity." I share that story with you, and it may seem like an odd example. On this Pride Month, in which I'm here to affirm the worth and the value of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, I bring to you a story of a heterosexual couple, of a man and a woman, and of their marriage of all these years and their commitment to one another. But I think it's important to hear it, because it raised within me certain questions. One question in particular. I asked myself, and I ask you, what is at the heart and the center of this story? What is most important about this story? Is it the gender of these two people? Is that what defines the story? Or is it the unending, faithful commitment, this eternal love that is lived out day after day after day? Is it the sex of these two people? Is it the sexual relationship that they share? Or is it the journey that they've lived out, that they've promised to uphold, to be a part of with one another forever? I suggest and submit to you without question, without hesitation, that it's the love, it's the faithful commitment that is of the greatest importance here. We get so bogged down and caught up in sex and gender, particularly in relationships that don't look like the ones that we're most familiar with. But if we dig deeper, if we look deeper, we find that which is of greatest importance is the love. That is what survives. St. Paul said that faith, hope, and love are the greatest things, and the greatest of all of those is indeed love. Robinson writes in conclusion, he says, "God is all about love. Whatever it is at the center of the universe, whatever gives meaning to creaturely existence, whatever we mean by God, it is all about love. There is no more fundamental belief among people of faith." And so, brothers and sisters, may you know that God is love. And that is what we are talking about. And may you pursue that. And to my gay brothers and sisters who may come across this video, I just want you to know once again that you are loved. You are loved by the God who is fundamentally, above all, about love. And that you are welcomed, you are accepted as a child of God, that you are beautiful, that you are wonderfully, fearfully, and beautifully made in the image of the God who is love. Amen and amen.